Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows is directed by Guy Ritchie and stars Robert Downey Jr., Jude Law, Naomi Rapace, and Jared Harris, and the sequel to the highly successful original made back in 2009. The story follows Holmes and Watson on another adventure, this time to take down the threat of Dr. Moriarty. I thought the original Sherlock Holmes was one of the best films made in 2009. It was witty, stylized, well-made, adventurous, and just a great detective thriller all around. The best part of the original, in my opinion, was Robert Downey Jr. as Holmes and Jude Law as Watson. The two made the film. Downey with his wit and OCD-like mannerisms, and Law, who played the faithfully adapted intelligent doctor/war vet. Now then, we join the two once more on an adventure to find out and presumably take down a much more intelligent foe. Now let's get this right out of the way. Is Game of Shadows a good film? Yes. Is it better than the original? No. What you need to understand is that the best part of the original was that it was primarily a detective mystery movie with a really good presentation. Game of Shadows is an action movie that begrudgingly has some not well handled intrigue. The first half of the movie is very light and doesn't have much in the way of plot, nor do I really have any feel of the stakes. With the last one, we got a very clear motive for the villain, whereas here it just kind of takes a while. And then we find out what the villain all of a sudden is doing, and then it erupts into action with only the occasional mystery. The action sequences are fun and impressive, but they kind of drag on after a while. You remember how in the first Sherlock he could predict his enemy's moves in a boxing match, like a game of chess? Well, here they use that almost to a fault. It uses it quite a bit, but then it doesn't have a feeling of, wow, that was so cool, I need more, so much as it does, yeah, I really don't need to see that again. The best part of this film is the final confrontation between Holmes and Moriarty, where we have a tense battle of wits. Speaking of, this is where the sequel improves upon the original, namely the villain, in that it's a little bit more villainous than the last one. He feels more like a physical and intellectual match for Holmes, which in turn makes him more interesting. Now I just want to emphasize that I didn't walk out of this movie in a bad mood. Game of Shadows does still come with a recommendation, but I recommend the other film over it. Still, it's worth checking out. Until next time.